Hello! So, for my update for Letter Engineer this week, I added 4 new levels, fixed a bunch of bugs, and redesigned some of the old levels. But for now, I'm just going to give an unedited preview of what one of these 4 levels is. So, this one is called Double Hammer, and you can see sort of by the shape here that we're going to be making 2 hammers. So, you can make hammers in this game by using a hinged tile. So, I'm going to put an R at each of these. And we can see we also have 3 challenges. Complete the level without exceeding the budget, and using exactly 1 vowel, but I can place multiple copies of it. So, I'm going to show you how to do that, and I'm going to show you how to make a hammer. This sort of shows you the shape, but the important part is to have this hinged letter at the end. Because if we put something like the word fester here, oh, we can't quite put the word fester. Let's actually change this to festers. And now we see fester, but it still doesn't quite fall when we hit play. But if we just set the word of here, then it'll fall in that direction and sort of kick the ball as we go. So I just need to write something else, and notice once I put of, I'm no longer using exactly 1 vowel. But ref is a word, ed and d are both words, so now we can watch as the ball goes up to the second location. But, as you might have suspected, that's not the end of the level. It's called Double Hammer for a reason. So, let's do the same thing up here. So, you can see at this point what hinged letters do. They sort of connect that letter to the background, but allow the full structure to freely rotate. So I'm just going to select all of the word festers and copy paste it here. But notice I can't just write ref up here because the directionality of this actually matters a lot. Just like a crossword, it's left to right and top to bottom where the words are read. You can't just write a word backwards and expect it to work. So I'm going to try making sort of a similar thing, and I'm going to try to keep doing it using only 1 vowel. If you're playing the game, I don't recommend you actually start by trying to achieve all of these goals at once. You don't have to complete any of them in order to complete the level. Well, I guess you do have to complete this first one, because that goal is just complete the level. But these 2 are optional. You don't have to do any of them, and in fact, currently, though this may change, there's nothing in the game to actually reward you for doing this besides just getting to see the star light up. So let's try doing the same thing. Now I've fed, ed, festers, and let's see what happens, though you may suspect we may need to add a little bit more here. So let's do that, and oh, we miss it. So that's a little disappointing, right? We want to hit the ball up there, and we need some way of slowing this down. So we could try just writing fester again here, but I mean, as long as you know how gravity works, this probably shouldn't really make a difference for how fast it swings. Yeah, so that doesn't quite help. But there's more tile types than just normal and hinged. There's also fixed, which I'm going to show you here. Anything connected to a fixed tile is, well, completely fixed in place. So this doesn't really help us. But there's something that in combination with these others can help us, and that's the brittle tile. So I'm going to delete both of these, and I'm going to add 2 brittle tiles here for a T and an E. Luckily, that still keeps me $4 under budget, which is nice. And now I'm going to start this, and then I'm going to click this. And that solves the level for us. Brittle tiles are deleted when you click them. So we'll rewatch that solution, and we can show you a little bit. So a little bit afterward, those brittle tiles are broken, and the hammer begins to fall, and that solves the level. Now, there's a lot more fun levels like this. I'll just give you a little preview, though I can't just solve all of them for you. If all the solutions are already on the internet when the game releases, what are we going to do? But here's another little level. So, as you might have seen before, these hinged structures can actually move through the ground. I'm working, I think next week I'll have a much more intuitive way of just communicating that to the player. But you have to find some way to make this structure that's already in the level, you can't delete it or anything, you have to make this structure rotate the full 270 degrees needed to get the ball over to the flag. And I'm not going to show you how to do that, but I'll show you one other level before we go. Yeah, let's go with this one. Alright, triple drop. Alright, so you may find out in this level there's going to be something similar you have to do to the one we just showed you. So MM is luckily an acceptable word in my game. So when you hit this, well, we don't quite get up, and if I put another MM here, well, it just ends up blocking the path. So there's something else you need to do. Have fun figuring it out. See you next week. Am I not recording desktop audio, or is it just really quiet? That's really quiet. That's fine. Oh right, I forgot I wasn't editing this, so I guess you get to hear me talk about desktop audio. Anyway, see you next week.